So, good morning everyone. My name is Tanaya Deshmukh. You know what? Many issues in the society we totally avoid or used to ignore them. But over the period of time, these issues converts into an acceptance. These issues sounds completely normal to us. For instance, all of us have seen movies like Satyamev Jayate and Jai Bhim or Singham, and at least one of them for sure. What was the one common thing in all these films? That is the torture, police torture. According to the average Bollywood viewer, police are not appointed only to follow the law or to maintain a law or an order, but to catch the villains and finish them or torture them for the acceptance of an offense, irrespective of the fact that whether they are actual victim or not. You surely heard about the concepts like third degree torture by police or harassment by police, and these things resulted into anti-torture bill in the year 2010, which discussed in the parliament for many times but not passed yet. In this bill, if a public servant grievously hurts an individual or any third person to derive information or for confession, then this will be punishable for 10 years. Moreover, if this torture is applied on women or children, then this will be punishable severely. According to the official data of Ministry of Home Affairs, India reported 606 custodial deaths in the year of 2018, 1731 in the year of 2019 and 1840 custodial deaths in the year of 2020. A report by National Campaign Against Torture also shows that around 63% of deaths in the police custody occurs within the 24 hours of arrest. In India, the petition related to the safety and security of women prisoners and their protection against the torture and ill treatment and their rights discussed before the Honorable Court in the year 1983. Yes, I am talking about the landmark case of Sheila Barse versus State of Maharashtra. Sheila Barse, who is the journalist and activist for prisoners' rights, wrote a letter to a Supreme Court saying that 15 women prisoners interviewed by her in the Bombay Central Jail, out of which 5 of them admitted that they had been assaulted in the police lockup. Given the seriousness of the allegations, Court admitted a writ petition on the basis of that one letter and journey of justice started. The writ petition is based on the letter addressed by Sheila Barse, a journalist complaining of custodial violence of women prisoners in the police lockup of Mumbai Central Jail. She interviewed 15 women prisoners in the Bombay Central Jail within the permission of Inspector General of Prison between 11 to 17 March of 1982, and 5 of them told that they had been assaulted by the police in the police lockup. Out of these 5 who has complained of having been assaulted in the police lockup, the petitioner particularly mentioned the case of 2, namely Devamma and Pushpa, who were assaulted and tortured in the police lockup. The court, in order to verify the allegations made by the petitioner, directed Dr. A.R. Desai, the director of College of Social Work, Nirmala Niketan in Bombay, to interview the women prisoners without anyone else being present there. The state government and the Inspector General of Prisons were directed to provide all the facilities to Ms. Desai to carry out this assignment entrusted to her and ascertain whether the allegations made by the petitioner were correct or not. The report submitted by her is highly interesting, which provides an insight into detailed problem and difficulties faced by the women prisoners. It also narrated a specific incidents of 2 foreign national prisoners being deputed and defrauded by lawyers. She further stated that there was no adequate arrangement for providing legal assistance to the women prisoners. In this case, the bench were consist of 5 judges: Justice Rangnath Mishra, Justice M.M. Dutt, Justice P.N. Bhagwati, Justice Amarendra Nath and Justice R.S. Singh. So, the letter by Sheila Barse describing the custodial violence to women prisoners were confined in the police lockups is treated as the question of safety and security of those women prisoners, and considering it as a public interest litigation, court admitted it as a writ petition under Article 32 of Indian Constitution. All these issues in the Honorable Court argued by Advocate Salman Khurshid on behalf of the petitioner and behalf of the respondent by Advocate K.C. Bhagat, Advocate V.B. Joshi and Advocate M.N. Shroff. The questions that are discussed before the Honorable Court in this particular case is the treatment given to female prisoners in the jail, the question of law central to the case that the court addressed owing to the revelations made in the both letter and report was concerning the life and liberty guaranteed in the Indian Constitution. The court holding that deprivations to access to law to prisoners would jeopardize the right of equality guaranteed under Article 14 of Indian Constitution and life and personal liberty protected in Article 21 of Indian Constitution. We can imagine the helplessness condition of prisoners who is lodged in the jail, who does not know to whom he can turn for the help in order to defend his constitutional or legal rights or to protect himself against the torture and ill treatment. It is impossible that the prisoner or the member of his family to obtain proper legal advice and aid. It is therefore absolutely essential that legal assistance must be made available to the prisoners in the jail, whether they are under trial or convicted prisoners. The court therefore in the case not only addressed the fact of the petition but also took up the larger cause of extending legal aid to the prisoners, both men and women, issued guidelines for the entire state of Maharashtra. The another question that is discussed before the Honorable Court is the state's liability to provide legal assistance to all the prisoners in the jail and to provide poor and indignant accused who are arrested. The report of Dr. Desai shows that there is no adequate arrangement for providing legal assistance to the women prisoners. It is pointed out in the report by Dr. Desai that two prisoners in the Bombay Central Jail, one is the German national and another is the Thai national, were deputed and defrauded by the lawyers who misappropriated almost half of their belongings of German national and jewellery of the Thai national, which is the matter of great shame for the legal profession. The lawyers must positively reach out those sections of humanity who are poor, who are illiterate, who are ignorant, and who, when they are placed in the crisis such as an accusation of crime or arrest or imprisonment, do not know what to do and where to go. Supreme Court in this case held that the incident highlighted in the letter by Ms. Barse that there is need for setting up machinery providing legal assistance to the prisoners. Court directed the following directions as a result of meaningful and constructive debate in the court in regard to various aspects of questions argued before the Honorable Court, and they are: firstly, 4 or 5 police lockups should be selected in reasonably good localities where only women suspects should be kept, and they should be guarded by female constables. Secondly, female suspects should not kept in police lockups in which male suspects are detained. Thirdly, court directed that interrogation of female suspects be carried out only in the presence of female constables. Next, whenever a person is arrested by the police without warrant, he must be immediately made known that he is entitled to apply for the bail. Next, whenever the person is arrested by the police and taken up to the police lockup, the police will immediately give intimation to the nearest legal aid committee. And lastly, court also directed that as soon as a person is arrested, the police must immediately obtain from him the name of any relative or friend whom he would like to be informed about such arrest. So, this case is very much important because in this case, the Supreme Court has enlightened very important issues and delivered most important directions on them, like separate lockups for female prisoners, female suspects mandatorily checked by the female police officers only, women prisoners cannot arrested after sunset and before sunrise, legal aid to the prisoners, and lastly, interrogation should be done in the presence of female officers. So, this one case saved the life and personal liberty of every prisoner who was living his life in danger in every jail of state of Maharashtra. On this note, I would like to take your leave. Thank you.